Hi everybody, this is Cory from the Welcome Home team here at RE/MAX. We're out and about once again today. We're in my hometown. We're in Lodi, New Jersey. We're talking with Carlos Villa. He's a financial coach with Primerica. Met this guy through Lodi Chamber of Commerce. Really good guy. I'm just going to sit down and talk to him, kind of about what he's about, what does he do it, and how it's done, and where we go from there. So Carlos, thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you reaching out. So like Cory mentioned, my name is Carlos Villa. I represent Primerica Financial. We have our office here in town, right by the ShopRite. And I've been doing this now for 6 years. Time flies, right? Time flies.
How does one get into doing this? You help people with insurance, life insurance, all sorts of different stuff. So how do you get into doing something like that?
I'll be honest with you. A friend of mine, Angela, had reached out to me years ago, and she said, "Hey, Carlos, I have this great business opportunity for you." And I kind of shut her down without shutting her down. I used to be in the import business, right? I used to be in the motorcycle industry. We sold everything but the bike. So I did a lot of traveling with work, right? Softball season. My wife was working night shift. I just had too much on my plate. But she said something, hey, can you use an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? I'm like, absolutely, right? My wife and I, we had a mortgage, kids. We had 4 kids at that time. We have 5 now, believe it or not.
Oh, congratulations, man! I got the one, and I'm good. I'm good.
Right. So, I said, you know what, Angela, I'm open to hearing you out. Right. So she came to my house. Before she came over, she said, hey, you know what? Forget about the business opportunity. Right. I see that you're a busy guy with work and whatnot. Why don't we get together and see if I can help you save on auto and homeowners insurance? And I was all ears. I mean, we live in New Jersey. Who doesn't want to save money on insurance?
Right.
So she came over, ended up saving my wife and I about $1,300 a year, combining our auto and home.
Right.
Right. So I kind of went from like skeptical to like, oh, okay, tell me more.
Right.
Right. And then she basically showed me everything that the company does and offers, and my wife and I became full clients. Right. We became full clients on the spot, and started off kind of like. I started off as a client. Then a few weeks later, I decided, you know what? I wouldn't mind to get licensed and at least refer people to you, and we could kind of help each other out. But then when I saw the impact that we made on families,
that's what I wanted to get to. That's where I wanted you to get to. What is the purpose and how fulfilling is what you do? That's a huge part of people's lives is to have their financial goals met.
Right. So I saw it firsthand, right? My friend came over and she showed my wife and I how to get rid of our 30-year mortgage and all of our other debt in 17 and a half years, just by doing a simple financial needs analysis, right? We basically call it like a GPS for your money, right? So, she basically showed us how to pay our debt off, spending the same dollar amount, but using some financial concepts that were not taught in school on how to take advantage of the money rules. Right, so by paying the same amount of money every month towards our debt, we were actually cutting our debt time in half. So I was like blown away by that. That was the first thing that really captured me, Cory, was the impact it showed to my situation. And I remember the first time doing an analysis for a family, the gentleman's wife started crying. She said, "My goodness, Carlos, you're like God sent. We needed something like this." And the best part about it is it's free. Right. That's what we're able to do is we basically teach people how money works so they can make money work for them and make informed decisions about how to take care of their own personal financial
That's
situation.
Great, man. Yeah, helping families, helping individuals, helping get to our financial goals is huge. And so a question that we ask a lot of businesses and people. So before COVID hit, definitely a different type of approach, definitely a different type of thing. How did you structure your business differently, and how did you quickly advise people how to structure themselves differently during COVID?
Well, I think the first major thing that we did as a company as a whole is we pivoted, right? I remember being nervous of what's my business going to look like, right? People aren't coming to my office. I'm not going to people's homes, right? So, we made the switch. We kind of teamed up and started using Zoom. Right, so once we made that transition, it was literally the same. We didn't skip a beat. It's basically, hey, instead of kneecap to kneecap, we're, computer to iPhone or tablet to PC.
Right.
Just doing everything virtual. And I think that the clients that were, following our advice had no problem during COVID, right? And now we see it. We see that people need these services more now than ever, right? The good thing about what we do is whether the economy is good or bad, people need what we do, right? People need to get out of debt, right? People need to understand, hey, you can be able to retire. You can send your child to school. You can put away the right amount of money to buy your first home or your investment property, whatever it is that people want to accomplish financially, right? We're able to help them do that virtually now, which is
great.
Amazing.
That's great.
Amazing.
That's cool, man. So a little off topic. I know that's kind of what you do all the time. You got 5 kids. What do you think about the virtual classroom setup, man?
So it was very interesting when it first happened, right?
Do you have all 5 like in the in the same spot?
We have 4. One's going away. She's going to school upstate.
Okay.
Right? She's back, right?
Right.
They're kind of doing like a hybrid, in person and virtual. So, but she's upstate New York right now, right? Our other oldest, she took the semester off, right? She didn't want to go back to school and do this whole virtual thing. But then I have one in high school, right? She's pretty independent. She's got to do what she's got to do. We have our 9-year-old who I kind of have to really be on top of because if not, she's there playing video games, right? And then we have our 5-year-old who, she's in pre-K now. But it was a tough transition at first, right? Trying to find a balance between, because my wife works 12-hour shifts at the hospital. So imagine I'm trying to run a business from my basement office while I hear kids upstairs fighting about what, and every hour I'm hungry, I have to go to the bathroom, I'm thirsty, but we got into a rhythm, right? And now it's kind of kickstarting that rhythm up. So I'm not too worried about the homeschooling just yet, right? But I'm sure challenges are on the way.
Yeah, we'll see because your kids are in Clifton, right? My son is in North Arlington, and they're doing virtual. They're doing half days for the first, I don't know how long, but they're going to be doing half days for a while to get the kids reacclimated.
That's
to
good.
It. It's tough with asking kids to sit in front of a screen for 8 hours a day, like a normal classroom style is. I feel for them, man. I don't know what we would have done back in the day. We would have staring at a screen, man. But that's neither here nor it is what it is. We make the best of the situation. It is so you have something else going on with some of your partners in media. Tell me about that.
So one of my business partners in Orlando, he started this branding and media company where it's all about lifting others, right? You see a lot of clothing lines and brands and medias with some type of gimmick where it's like, oh, we're giving back, we're doing this. But this whole movement started because of stuff that he went through, and he realizes that a lot of people need lifting, right? A lot of people, especially nowadays,
man.
Right? Whether that's lifting them, physically, emotionally, right, spiritually, financially, right? People need lifting. Right, so he came up with this wonderful slogan and ideas. So we kind of teamed up and partnered up, and we're looking for ways to give back to the community. We recently did a seminar for military families, right? So where we gave them some free education, right? We donated some shirts, we ran some raffles, and we started selling some of the merchandise, the shirts, and we're using part of those proceeds to give back to military families.
That's
right?
Great,
like
man.
Military families on base, while their spouse or partner's on leave, right? A lot of them, kind of go through it a little bit.
Oh, of course. So it's a tough spot for a lot of people.
So I'm just glad to be able to give back. To have another platform to be able to give back.
Great. What's the brand? What's the company?
So Lyf Brand Media. You can check us out on Instagram. It's Lyf Brand Media, all one word. Check us out, right? And feel free to reach out. We're looking once things get back to normal to start doing more stuff and stuff for the community, right? Maybe some coat drives, right? We're kind of waiting to see because all the school systems are different right now, and there's still a lot of people scared to kind of get together, right? But if we do happen to do something, right, we'll have our masks on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. There's actually a lot of networking stuff that I'm seeing that's actually kind of coming back a couple of chambers. I've been talking to Tom for our chamber about getting some networking going again, and that'll be exciting to, you know, take something like your Lyf Brand Media or what we do, you know, and help other people with it.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to, you know, collaborating and you know, making an impact.
Yeah.
Right? That's really what it's about.
That's the biggest thing, especially coming out of this. Everybody needs a little help. Everybody needs a helping hand.
Absolutely.
Smiling face. Carlos is always very, very positive when I talk to him. So,
Got to be.
Carlos, thanks for being
Absolutely.
with us. We
Thank
really
you,
appreciate it, man.
Cory, I appreciate
and,
you.
yeah, absolutely. We'll
Thank
talk to you again
brother.
soon. All right.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.